See if this works out. This is a video explanation of something I just posted. And I lost my pair of scissors. Okay. I can't even see the whole thing, can you? Well, first of all, it's on a piece of... Let me get rid of the macro. It's on a piece of board that I wrapped in velvet. Okay, now you can see that this really pops. Like it really comes off. It's really in a round. I should really prep myself before I do these things, but I don't because I don't feel like it. So I have to struggle for words every time. It's like a dome. Dome-like. I don't know, it happened this time more than it usually does. I don't know whether that means that I'm stretching the hoop too. I mean, I took it off the hoop and stitched it onto the velvet. The hoop was stretched too hard, or I put too many stitches in, or a combination of the two. Okay. I'm getting a reflection of my lamp. I can't see. Trying. Why don't I get set up before I turn this on? I don't have the patience. I'm an embroidery artist. You think I have patience? I tried to make something that was deliberately surreal, which in fact, in that case, I think it would end up not being surreal. It's sort of pseudo-surrealism. I mean, there was always some subconscious going on when you're making something, I suppose. I mean, this one is because I didn't know what I was going to do until I started doing it. So I guess in that case it could be surreal because I was using psychic automatism and all that stuff that they wrote about in the Surreal Manifesto. But I really planned more to make something that looked like, I don't know, certain surreal artists, which I won't name. Strange landscape, things inside of things, hidden, you know, certain obvious looking symbolic things that really aren't symbolic for anything. You know, so I did all those things. First I'm just going to go over it like this, but then I'm going to go through it with the super macro. Let's see. Oh, I had a drawing. I often do these drawings when I'm at my place of employment. I did this drawing on a yellow post-it, of course. I wanted to show a deliberate cutout of an inside of a human being and have that kind of square cutout kind of be shown, and inside was, I don't know, an organ or something. But then coming out of the mouth maybe with some kind of thing that was looking at something that was maybe some kind of a birth coming out of another person, creature that was actually the same. So we have this the same as this. So we have like a conjoined image, and then one of them looks at the other like it was a different thing. I don't know. But anyway, so if you see this, and I wanted to, well, you'll see here. Well, you already did see, but this is actually happening here. This is the figure, and you actually have the cutout there in square, if you can see it, coming out here. And instead of putting something inside, I actually made two things kind of coming out of it. But these black lines here show that this section came from this being. Almost like it was a science book explanation. The reason why I did this, well, I started from the last one I was doing before this, I was using this color, what do you call that stuff? Painter's floss, with this metallic multicolored floss, which is my favorite, and I just like the way it looked together, so I wanted to make an entire thing like that. As I was doing it, I realized how much they kind of blend, and I usually make things that kind of stand out, but in this particular one, you really have to look at things closely, because it's not, I mean, I realized that while I was doing it, but I continued it anyway. You have a lot of images that blend, but I wanted to make something that you looked at for a long period of time instead of just looking at for a second. You know, you have to really stare at it for a while. I made the body, then I made the very large head, and when I actually drew this down with marker really quickly, or simply I should say, I was supposed to be a head that was melting. Now it looks like this is some kind of hair or tentacles. It started to stretch and melt up here with the eyes and then the nostrils. It doesn't really look that way after I stitched on it, but then I made this very large spittle, I guess you could call it, coming out of the mouth. And over here there you see an image of a figure inside the spittle. And then here's some more, two more drops of spittle. Now, I had large nostrils, and I had been using my, the one that I did before this, I was the first one that I used the invisible thread on, the clear invisible thread. And so I said, well, as long as I'm doing bodily fluids, I might as well put some stuff coming out of the nose, because the invisible thread would look just like snot. No, this shows how you can become influenced by something that you're doing. Because I would never ever consciously want to embroider snot. I think it's just as disgusting as anybody thinks it is. But it just seemed to work. So I stitched the snot coming out of the nostrils. So it looks like slugs, but it really does look like real snot. It's, you know, it just sort of give and take. I control it, but then it can control me. You know how it goes? I don't know. Now, let's see. Coming out of this box that came out of this image is this long, goes over here, comes down here, and ends up in, well, it looks like a snake's, some sort of snake, but a part of its nose or something kind of juts out into little sections, and the sections become kind of entwined with the legs of the image that actually is spawning it, the figure that's spawning it. So I don't know what that kind of means, some kind of a, I mean, I have to sit here myself and figure out what it means. On the other side, it is coming out a couple of kidneys here, and some other things that don't look clear, but I'll have to go over that with the close-up lens. Then I did a simple sun and moon thing here from this little alchemy book that I bought. It's about alchemy and alchemy symbols, and I saw this face with the sun, and it's very important in alchemy, so said that looks nice, I'll use it. It looks like a typical surreal thing. I'm gonna stop saying that. Now, down here is more of this kind of strange landscape. We have this, well, this is sort of like a cylinder tower.